2025 is here and we of course are going to continue creating videos for you. Also, something that never changes is we offer Windows 11 Pro retail keys. For just $12.50, purchase one today and you are good to go for the end of the year when Windows 10 is end of life. In the spring of 1975, two childhood friends, Bill Gates and Paul Allen, founded a small software company they named Microsoft. Their goal? To put a computer on every desk and in every home. So what followed was a revolution in technology. But alongside Microsoft Office, Windows and the web, something else was quietly growing. Gaming. So from text-based adventures in the early days of MS-DOS to sprawling high-fidelity worlds powered by cloud gaming, Microsoft has played a monumental role in shaping how we play. So this is the story of Microsoft in gaming, a 50-year journey of ambition, innovation, missteps and unforgettable moments. From ASCII to AI, from Solitaire to Starfield. Let's take a look back at the milestones, the hardware, the iconic titles and the impact of 50 years of Microsoft and gaming. In the late 1970s, as personal computing began to emerge, Microsoft recognized the potential of interactive entertainment. In 1979, they introduced Microsoft Adventure, a text-based game that transported players into a labyrinth cave system filled with treasures and challenges. And this game was an adoption of the earlier Colossal Cave Adventure, originally developed for mainframe computers by William Crowther and later expanded by Don Woods. Microsoft's version, programmed by Gordon Luton, was tailored for microcomputers like the TRS-80 and Apple II, making complex gaming experiences more accessible to the general public. Microsoft Adventure allowed players to input simple text commands to navigate through over 130 rooms, solve puzzles, and collect treasures. And its release marked Microsoft's initial foray into the gaming industry, demonstrating their commitment to diversifying software offerings beyond business applications. And in 1981, Microsoft took a significant step by developing MS-DOS. This was based on an original operating system called PC-DOS, and this would become a foundational for PC gaming back in the early 80s and 90s. So MS-DOS provided a stable and flexible platform for game developers, leading to an explosion of games that would define early PC gaming. This move not only solidified Microsoft's role in the software industry, but also laid the groundwork for their future endeavors in gaming and of course also for Windows. So these early ventures into gaming and operating systems showcased Microsoft's vision of computers as versatile tools for both productivity and entertainment, setting the stage for decades of innovation in the gaming world. In 1982, Microsoft made a significant leap into the realm of interactive entertainment with the release of Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.0. This was developed in collaboration with Bruce Ardwick of Sublogic, and this groundbreaking software offered users an insane opportunity to pilot a virtual Cessna 182 across 4 detailed regions: Chicago, Los Angeles, New York City, and Seattle. The default starting point was Chicago Makesfield, providing a realistic backdrop that would become iconic in subsequent versions. A Microsoft Flight Simulator was way more than just a regular game. This was a sophisticated simulation that provided users with full control over the aircraft's instrumental panel, mimicking real-world flying experiences, and its advanced features were so authentic that early versions were utilized as informal benchmarks for PC compatibility. The program's realism and depth captivated users, leading to approximately 800,000 copies sold within the first 5 years. And this release not only showcased Microsoft's commitment to pushing technology and the boundaries of PC gaming, but also laid the foundation for one of the longest running and most loved franchises in simulation history. In May 1990, Microsoft released Windows 3.0, a significant advancement that transformed the personal computing landscape. This version introduced a more intuitive graphical user interface featuring the Program Manager and File Manager, which streamlined user interactions and set a new standard for operating systems. So among the innovative features of Windows 3.0 was the inclusion of Microsoft Solitaire, a digital adaptation of the classic card game. So while providing entertainment, Solitaire served as a dual purpose. It subtly introduced users to graphical interfaces and familiarized them with mouse operations such as clicking, double-clicking, and drag-and-drop techniques. And this approach eased the transitions for users accustomed to the text-based commands from, an example, MS-DOS. So building on its success, Windows 3.1, released in 1992, incorporated Minesweeper into its suite of applications, and this puzzle game challenged players to clear a minefield without detonating hidden mines, enhancing users' proficiency with mouse precision and both left and right click functions. So Minesweeper was not only providing engaging gameplay, but also reinforced essential computing skills. And these built-in games transcended mere entertainment because they played an important role in acclimating users to evolving digital environments, especially with the mouse. So by integrating familiar and enjoyable applications, Microsoft effectively bridged the gap between traditional computing and the emerging graphical interface era, so laying the groundwork for future innovations in software design and user engagement, and of course with gaming. By the late 1990s, Microsoft had established quite dominance in the PC world, but something was brewing in the living room. So with Sony's PlayStation taking over console gaming and Nintendo still a major player, Microsoft saw both a threat but also an opportunity. In 2001, after years of secret development under the codename DirectX Box, Microsoft launched its very first gaming console, the Xbox. It was big, it was black, it had a glowing green ring, and it was powerful, boasting a built-in hard drive, Ethernet port, and cutting-edge graphics hardware. So unlike many other consoles at the time, the first Xbox was built more like a PC. This gave it the power to support large, complex games with faster load times and better visuals. But launching a console wasn't just about the hardware, because Microsoft definitely needed a killer app or game. And they had one, Halo Combat Evolved. Bundled with the console at launch, Halo instantly became a sensation, selling millions of copies and redefining what a first-person shooter could be on a console. So, despite stiff competition and skepticism from industry veterans, the Xbox held its own, eventually selling over 24 million units worldwide. So, more importantly, it planted Microsoft's big flag into the console space. And this wasn't a one-off experiment. This was definitely the beginning of something big for Microsoft regarding gaming. Let's dive more into Halo, because this was definitely the birth of a gaming icon, especially regarding shooting genre on consoles. So in November 2001, alongside the launch of the Xbox, a groundbreaking title emerged that would definitely redefine first-person shooters on the consoles. Halo Combat Evolved, developed by Bungie Studios, which had been acquired by Microsoft in 2000, Halo was initially envisioned as a real-time strategy game for Mac and PC. However, following the acquisition, it evolved into a first-person shooter tailored for the Xbox platform. Set in the 26th century, Halo Combat Evolved introduced players to enigmatic super soldiers and the leader Master Chief and his AI companion Cortana. So together they battled the alien Covenant and the mysterious ringworld known as Halo. So the game's expansive environments, compelling narrative and innovative mechanics such as regenerative shields and a 2-weapon limit set new standards for the genre, especially for consoles. The impact of Halo was immediate and profound, because by November 2005 over 6 million copies had been sold worldwide, making it Xbox flagship title and a system seller for the console. Its success led to a franchise that expanded across multiple sequels, spin-offs, novels, comics, and even a television series, solidifying its place in pop culture. But beyond its commercial success, Halo influenced game design and multiplayer experiences. Its balanced weapons, intelligent AI, and expansive multiplayer modes became benchmarks for future shooters. So the game's LAN party supported a greatly community-driven multiplayer culture that paved the way for online gaming's rise in subsequent years. So in essence, Halo Combat Evolved was not just any regular game, because this was absolutely a revolution that redefined how first-person shooter genre on the console could work. And with Halo, that was the start of a entire new genre for shooters on the console. In the early 2000s, online gaming was primarily the domain of PC enthusiasts, with console gamers largely confined to offline experiences. Recognizing the untapped potential in the console market, Microsoft embarked on a mission to bridge this gap. On November 15, 2002, exactly 1 year after the debut of the original Xbox, Microsoft introduced Xbox Live, a pioneering online gaming service designed exclusively for its console audience. So unlike its competitors, Xbox Live was built with a broadband-only requirement, ensuring faster and more stable connections for players. And this strategic decision allowed for seamless online multiplayer experiences, setting a new standard in the industry. The service introduced several groundbreaking features. For the first time, you had a unified gamer tag system, so players could create a single unique username that would represent them across all Xbox Live-enabled games, fostering a consistent online identity. Then you had friends list and messaging, so gamers could easily add friends, see their online status, and communicate through text or voice messages, enhancing the social aspect of gaming, something that was seen and known for PC gaming for almost since the internet, but now also for Xbox. And there was voice chat integration, so every Xbox Live starter kit included the Xbox Communicator headset, enabling real-time voice communication during gameplay. This feature not only enriched cooperative and competitive play, but also became a staple in online gaming communities. The launch lineup featured titles specifically designed to showcase Xbox Live capabilities, such as Mech Assault and Unreal Championship, and these games demonstrated the potential of online multiplayer on consoles, offering dynamic and engaging experiences that were previously limited to PC gaming only. And the impact of Xbox Live was profound and far-reaching. By July of 2004, the service had amassed over 1 million subscribers, a testament to its popularity and the growing demand for online console gaming. And this success prompted competitors to develop their own online platforms, fundamentally altering the gaming landscape for consoles. Microsoft's commitment to online connectivity didn't stop with the original Xbox, because with the release of subsequent consoles, Xbox Live evolved, introducing features like downloadable content, digital game distribution, and integration with other Microsoft services. The continuous innovation has solidified Xbox Live's position as a cornerstone of the Xbox ecosystem and a benchmark for online gaming services. So in essence, the launch of Xbox Live in 2002 marked an amazing revolutionary moment in gaming history, transforming online multiplayer from a niche PC feature to a mainstream console experience, and laying the groundwork for connected gaming communities we see today. In November 2005, Microsoft launched the Xbox 360, marking a significant leap forward in console gaming, and people say this is probably the best Xbox ever created. So this new system introduced high-definition graphics, a more robust Xbox Live experience, and a diverse lineup of launch titles that captivated gamers worldwide. The Xbox 360's sleek design and powerful hardware definitely set a new standard for home entertainment. So the console's launch was accompanied by a strong selection of games across various genres, showcasing the system's capabilities and appealing to a broad audience. So titles like Call of Duty 2 at that time, Project Gotham Racing 3, and cameo Elements of Power highlighted the graphical prowess and diverse gameplay experiences available on the Xbox 360. Building upon the success of Xbox Live, Microsoft enhanced also an online service to other features like downloadable content, digital game purchases, and a more integrated social experience. And this evolution transformed the Xbox 360 into not just a gaming console, but a fully amazing entertainment hub. People also did convert their Xbox 360s to Xbox Media Centers, and it was just an amazing device. In 2010, Microsoft introduced Kinect. Kinect was a motion sensing input device that allowed players to interact with games using physical gestures and voice commands, eliminating the need for traditional controllers. At least that was the idea. So this was originally known as Project Natal, and Kinect aimed to revolutionize gaming by making it more accessible and immersive. Unfortunately, the Kinect didn't really get the attention Microsoft hoped. It started very strong at first, but eventually people saw it more as a gimmick and they wanted their Xbox 360 more as a hardcore gaming console. The Kinect, however, launched with a variety of titles and it was also designed to showcase its possibilities. This included Kinect Adventures, Dance Central, and Kinect Sports. Pretty much it was very comparable with the Nintendo Wii, who also had Wii Sports. So these games emphasized physical activity and intuitive controls, and what it did really good was attract a new demographic of players also to the Xbox platform. So the introduction of Kinect not only expanded the Xbox 360's appeal, but also demonstrated Microsoft's commitment to innovation in gaming technology. So by trying to offering a more controller-free experience, even if it didn't really succeed in the end, Kinect paved the way for new forms of interactive entertainment and also really solidified the Xbox 360's position in the competitive gaming market. It not only could play hardcore games, but there was also a more casual market available who, in example, loved the Wii. So through the Xbox 360 era and the advent of Kinect, Microsoft continued to push the boundaries of gaming, and most people say the Xbox 360 is one of the best consoles ever made. In November 2013, Microsoft launched the Xbox One, succeeding the Xbox 360 and marking the company's third foray into the gaming console market. The Xbox One was positioned as an all-in-one entertainment system, and it aimed to integrate gaming, live television, and multimedia applications into a single device. So leading up to its release, the Xbox One faced significant criticism due to several proposed policies they wanted to do. First one was strict DRM, always online DRM. Microsoft initially planned to implement strict DRM measures, requiring the console to connect to the internet at least once every 24 hours to authenticate game licenses. And this approach raised concerns about game accessibility for users without reliable internet connections. The second one was the restriction on used games, because the company intended to limit the resale and sharing of physical game discs, potentially disrupting the traditional second-hand game market. This was also quite a big thing. And the third one was the mandatory Kinect integration. Because maybe you can't remember it, but the Xbox One was designed to operate with the Kinect sensor always connected, leading to privacy concerns among users wary of a device that could continuously monitor their living space. The gaming community's backlash was swift and pronounced, as it always is, with many expressing their dissatisfaction through online fora, social media, and industry events. The controversy was further amplified when Sony announced that its competing console, the PlayStation 4, would not impose similar restriction, positioning itself as a more consumer-friendly alternative. And as we all know today, the PlayStation 4 is one of the most successful PlayStations ever created. So Microsoft did some changes at that. So the policy reversals. In response to the widespread criticism, Microsoft made several significant policy reversals before the console launch. So DRM and online requirements, the company eliminated the 24-hour online check-in requirement, allowing users to play offline games without the mandatory daily internet authentication. Also, used game policies, that those restrictions on resale and sharing of game discs were lifted, enabling gamers to, again, trade, lend, and resell physical copies without additional constraints. And the Kinect requirement, Microsoft announced that the Kinect sensor would no longer be mandatory for the console's operation, addressing privacy concerns and providing users with more flexibility. I always find it super strange because I would assume they found themselves so powerful in the market from the insane success of the Xbox 360 that they could, I would say, expect these kinds of insane criticism. And yeah, what good was it if you have to roll it back all over again and having already a very negative vibe around this new launch. So despite those pre-launch controversies, the Xbox One experienced strong initial sales. So Microsoft reported over 1 million units sold within the first 24 hours of release, marking it as the biggest launch in Xbox history at the time. However, the early missteps had lasting impacts on the console's reputation. The initial policy decisions And subsequent reversals created confusion and also violated the consumer trust. So additionally, the Xbox One's higher price point, partially due to the inclusion of the Kinect sensor, positioned it at a disadvantage compared to the more affordable PlayStation 4. Following the initial challenges of the Xbox One's launch, Microsoft embarked on a path of innovation and responsiveness to the gaming community's feedback. Still, in 2015, the introduction of backwards compatibility allowed players to enjoy the vast library of Xbox 360 titles on their Xbox One consoles. So, this bridging generational divides and honoring the company's rich gaming legacy. The unveiling of the Xbox One S in 2016 showcased a sleeker design, 4K video playback, and HDR support, reflecting Microsoft's commitment to staying at the forefront of technological advancements. So, embracing a vision of gaming without boundaries, the Xbox Play Anywhere initiative launched, and now enabling gamers to purchase a title once and play it seamlessly on both Xbox One and Windows 10 platforms. In 2017, the Xbox One X finally made its debut as the most powerful console of its time, delivering true 4K gaming experiences and setting a new performance standards. In November 2020, Microsoft launched a new era of gaming with the simultaneous release of the Xbox Series X and Series S consoles. The Series X, touted as the most powerful console ever created, boasted native 4K gaming up to 120 frames per second, delivering insane visual fidelity and performance. Its counterpart, the Series S, offered a more affordable all-digital option, targeted more at 1080p or 1440p resolution, however with similar high frame rate capabilities. So both consoles featured the innovative Xbox Velocity architecture, enabling faster loader times, richer environments, and the quick resume feature, allowing players to seamlessly switch between multiple games. The idea of the Series S was actually well thought out, because lots of people still had 1080p TVs or maybe 1440p monitors. However, even despite its very small form factor and the low price, the Series S didn't really sell well. It was available anywhere, even due its price of $300 new. Complementing this hardware advancement was the evolution of Xbox Game Pass, a subscription service that had been steadily transforming the gaming landscape since its inception in June 2017. Initially offering access to over 100 games, Game Pass expanded its value proposition by including all new Xbox Game Studio titles on their release day, starting with Sea of Thieves in March of 2018. And this move underscored Microsoft's commitment to delivering immediate value to its subscribers. In April of 2019, responding to the community feedback, Microsoft introduced Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, bundling Game Pass with Xbox Live Gold, providing a comprehensive package that catered to both game access and online multiplayer experience. The service appeal was further enhanced in September 2020 with the integration of EA Play, granting subscribers access to a broader library of titles from Electronic Arts at no additional cost. Nowadays, the Xbox Game Pass landscape is a little bit different because now you have tiers. In the past, there was only Xbox Game Pass for PC, for consoles, or Ultimate, which offers access to both PC and to consoles. However, nowadays the access to games has been divided and separated with different tiers. For me, this is always a little bit strange, but I guess Microsoft didn't really made enough money from the Game Pass subscribers, and it's a bit strange how this entire chapter of Xbox Series X and S happened during all these years, because also here in this generation, PlayStation 5 is absolutely the clear winner over the Xbox Series X and S. As Microsoft continued its journey in the gaming industry, the period from 2021 to today, 2025, marked significant milestones and strategic shifts that would shape the company's future in gaming. So in January 2022, Microsoft announced its intention to acquire Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion, and with that it was the biggest buyout ever in gaming history. And it was aiming to bring iconic franchises like Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, and Diablo under its umbrella. And this acquisition, completed on October the 13th of 2023, positioned all of a sudden Microsoft as the world's third largest gaming company by revenue, behind Tencent and Sony. The integration, however, of Activision Blizzard into Microsoft's portfolio was not without challenges. The FTC and the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, the CMA, raised concerns about the marketing competition and potential monopolistic practices. But despite these hurdles, Microsoft navigated the legal landscape, addressing concerns and emphasizing its commitment to maintaining a competitive and inclusive gaming environment for everyone and keeping things fair. In parallel, Microsoft expanded its hardware lineup as well. In September 2023, an updated Xbox Series S with a matte black finish and 1 TB of storage was launched, offering gamers enhanced storage capacity and sleek design, with still having the benefits of the Xbox Series S. Also, last month, reports from March in 2025 suggested that Microsoft is really actively developing a handheld gaming device in partnership with a major PC OEM, aiming to enter the portable gaming market as well, just like the Switch 2, which was announced last week. And of course, we have the Steam Deck, which is probably the biggest handheld gaming device at this moment. Also, additionally, very interesting, successor to the Xbox Series X and S have been greenlit, with releases anticipated around 2027. And for me, that's really interesting, because are we really going to see some new next-gen console in 2027? Because in my opinion, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X are not really running under full potential yet, but it for sure is really, really interesting. Maybe we're just going to see some kind of improved version of the Series X and S. That's also a possibility, of course. And the gaming subscription service Xbox Game Pass continued to evolve, now also offering Activision Blizzard games. But like I mentioned earlier, the segregation of multiple tiers, I'm not really sure if that's a good idea. But then again, people now have choices to choose whatever they want. Also, something worth note to mention is that Microsoft began exploring the expansion of their own game titles to other platforms. So by February 2024, source indicated plans to launch selected Xbox games on PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch. And that's what we have seen already now. There have been multiple announcements of Xbox exclusive games being released also to other platforms. Of course, PC was in here already for all the time, but now Microsoft almost becoming somewhat of a software company, very ironically, because it's what it is, but selling their own exclusive Microsoft games also on platforms like PlayStation and Nintendo, for me is a bit strange, because that means, in my opinion, that their sales of their Series X and S isn't just what they hoped for. And I think they somehow need to make profit, and they need to sell those games. So I'm pretty sure they're not going to sell their major games like Starfield or Avowed directly on PlayStation 5, but maybe after a couple of years, who knows. So I have to say the future for Microsoft is a bit uncertain regarding gaming. I think they will definitely support out this generation, maybe Game Pass, but the thing with Game Pass is that they killed the old concept that PlayStation has, just selling AAA single-player games, an example. And with Game Pass, they only need to have, for me, what it feels filler content. And especially a game like Starfield did show, even while I don't think it was a bad game, it wasn't also a great game. And the same with Avowed. This was supposed to be the next killer game. It was a fun game, a nice game, but not a great game. Not in the way that we've seen Fallout 4 and also Skyrim, an example, Elder Scrolls 5. So the thing is, I'm currently looking forward the most to, of course, Elder Scrolls 6. And we still have Fable about to be released. I hope maybe next year, next year, I don't know. The thing for me is, I really hope Microsoft stays in this business as a gaming company, because it's definitely horrible if we only have one player like PlayStation is, or even Nintendo, that's still not a direct competitor to PlayStation. Why? Because else we're going to see things like Nvidia is currently doing with their GPU releases. They're doing it very, very monopoly based, and that's never a great idea to have just one major game company in the world. So let's hope Microsoft refines itself as a big player, maybe selling the same numbers as the Xbox 360 did. And let's hope the best for Microsoft, and maybe for another 50 years of gaming with Microsoft.